Font of devotion. I remember the first day we met. The day we first met. Now that I look at it closely, the clock has no hands. On account of there being no need to keep track of time, perhaps. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't notice that. Without death, what meaning is there to time? Finished talking to the locals, have you? I'd be keen to hear your impressions. Kryl and Erinville are still out and about, it seems. So how was it? What are your impressions of those you met? No, time reading device isn't needed in a place where time has no meaning. And why does time have no meaning? Because they don't die. Because they're they're already dead. You know? They're endless. It relates directly to death. It's why they built that concept in the zones preceding this. Do I understand it correctly that no two people in here can remember each other because other one is having their memory of the other erased? Unless they were to die at the exact same time, then probably. Like, this is dark, but if two, you know, there's that classic let's go out together kind of thing that lovers can do in fantasy sometimes. Like, I wonder if two people killed themselves simultaneously if... But no, that doesn't work though. Because if you die by an accident, you get brought back to life. As long as you have the souls. So they'd have to both... You'd either have to be out of souls and die simultaneously, or you'd have to somehow manage to die of old age at the exact same time, which I don't think is gonna happen. I think the memories are transferred to living memory before being erased. Am I missing something? Didn't we just do a quest line like this? Didn't we, like, just do a quest where the guy said that he died way before his partner, so she didn't remember him? When she came here? But she had this weird inkling. She didn't remember him while she was alive. I think this concept is overcomplicated, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I feel that this could have been executed better to be more clear. Maybe I just need to keep playing, but it's just very confusing. She never married because she felt she'd lost someone close to her. Right. So her memories of that guy got uploaded here. And then so when she died and came here, she got her memories because they're stored in that thing. But she didn't manifest for a long time. No what? I need more than one word answer. Yes, no. Okay, now I'm getting... I'm gonna keep playing the game. Only he remembered her. She got her memories back at death. That's how I was understanding that. They get uploaded into these like stones, right? All the memories. And then they get given like a vessel to manifest, but only when there's enough power. Right? Isn't that why he said he had to wait forever for her to like manifest here? So he dies, she loses her memories of him, which are presumably uploaded here and stored, but then it takes forever after she dies to be constituted here. So she ends up waiting and never marrying. He ends up dead, waiting for her. And all the while until she dies and gets her memories back, assuming that there's enough power to manifest her, then they can finally reunite. But they don't really care about waiting because they don't have a concept of time. It was great. Everyone was so happy. Just talking to them made me happy too. Just keep playing, man. Don't overthink stuff and let all your our theorizing get to you. And enjoy the last bit. I mean, that's what I do on this stream. That's what it is. Here we go. What about you, Pyro? It's definitely fucking weird. Sweethearts reunited. That's a miracle. While it is a miracle after a fashion, the system strives to make such encounters possible. If you meet someone you know, it's probably not by chance. The terminals hold information on unfulfilled longings and use them to orchestrate reunions like Euclay's. That's fucking weird. I see. That the terminals can do this is impressive indeed. But there is one thing I do not understand. According to Euclay's, his beloved passed away decades after he did. Yet, they appeared to be of like age. Now that's a great point. Ah, yes. People are not necessarily recreated as they were when they passed away. What? The appearance of an endless, I speculate, reflects the happiest period in their life. This is twisted. So we have a computer system that can recognize the most happiest parts of your life and use it as part of the eternal imprisonment mechanism that runs this place. That's fucking nuts. That is fucking nuts. Now we get to an absolutely horrific question about the children. Did they die as kids? Or is that just the happiest that they ever were? And this is all based on the logic derived from the computer. Or whatever it is. What if it's wrong? What if it gets it wrong? How does that... Does that mean that's why Kafkiwa is so hot? It's why Kafkiwa probably looks like she's almost younger than Erinville. What if this system like glitched or fucked up one day and started trapping people in their worst memories? Like, what if it started trapping them in their most horrific, fucking terrible things that ever happened to them? This can turn bad so easily. What if you show up excited not to see your wife and it turns out she's a child? Not only would reuniting with a child be very strange, it would mean your wife was happier as a child than she was with you. Fucking oof. I mean, look, I think a lot of us are happy as kids, right? Depends. Depends on your life, I guess. Viera are slow aging. Viera can look young and are hundreds of years old. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that fact in this game's lore that I've spent thousands of hours playing. I know that Viera live a long time and that she can be youthful. We are literally in a fucking situation where they just said that you can be brought back at a different age. To immediately assert that that did not happen to Kafkiwa seems ridiculous to me. We have no proof of that. We don't know that. We would assume that she would follow the logic and pattern as well. Why the fuck would it be any different? So unless she was the happiest that she was when she had Erinville, see, that could be the case. Her memory, she always calls him her sweet little bunny or whatever the fuck. She seems to have a lot of memories of Erinville, so it seems to me that the happiest moment of Kafkiwa's life was her son. The time that she got to spend with her son. That's so fucked up. Oh, this is so fucked up. Oh my god, this is fucked up. Is that the case for you then? Not that I can tell how old you are, as slowly as your people age. I'm not sure, to be honest. I have so many happy times, it's hard to know which one applies. I think I know. I'm insufferably inquisitive, whether it's nature or technology. I can't help but want to learn more about the world around me. You might say that discovery is what gives me joy. It made me happy in life, and may have been a blessing afterwards. It's funny considering what Erinville does. The other Endless are content with what they have here, you see. They don't develop the urge to leave. But I was so determined to see the world again. That I taught myself how to gain control of a vessel and ventured outside. And why did you do that? You're a proper rebel. Well, that's enough about me for now. While we wait for Kryl and Eleneshpia, I have a favor to ask of you. I love how she calls him that, too. As you may have noticed, most of the fountains here aren't running. I actually didn't notice that. This pisses me off. Why is there no water coming from it? Where's the water? That's because, despite its shiny appearance, this city is centuries old, and everything is dreadfully run down. The fountains apparently used to put on magnificent shows, and I was hoping that we could get them working again. Giving the control units a dose of ether should be enough to restore the circuits and switch them on, but being an Endless, I'm unable to do that. I realize... Endless can't give any ether away at all? Is that due to some mechanism that they explained before? Not with the shortage? Oh, okay, that would make sense. Gratia, get out your etheric reader and make sure that all this shit is ether. I want you to start running tests. Like you did with the Omphalos. We don't have the equipment, though. He doesn't have the backpack. They're reconstructed from ether controlled by a machine. They can't control it themselves. I like how we... I don't... am I supposed to assume that? I assume they can also expect the living folk to be around to maintain. Oh, right, because now they're all endless. That would have been... Oh, yeah, that's fascinating to think about. The times during before they all were endless. This means that this space contained the memories and souls of the departed, but that living people could still come here. So your loved one could die, come to this place, and then you could go and meet them again. So it really is like a mechanical, robotic, ethereal sea in a way. Why would living come here if they don't remember the dead? Well, I guess they never said that there was a time where those living wouldn't have been wearing regulators. But Sveen didn't people have the... Am I wrong? Or didn't Sveen outright say that people had the choice of whether to wear the regulator or not? Wasn't that one of the earlier plot points in the zones leading to Solution 9? So, if you weren't wearing if you didn't wear a regulator, but I wonder if that's only if that's a recent thing, or if that's always been that way. Because if you didn't wear a regulator, then you don't forget the people that died. Which means that if you were alive, you could come here and you'd remember them. But that's gotta be rare. That's gotta be, like, tremendously rare. And we're talking hundreds of years ago when they first started working on this stuff. If you would wear one and get killed, you will be revived. Seems most people would write just for that. Well, I mean, there's evidently people who wouldn't. Members of Oblivion and stuff like that don't wear them. It's not like it's just one person. It seems like a major oversight to not have living people able to come here to give proper maintenance to this place, considering things can break to the point that even fountains don't work. That would imply other things could break down, which could put the Endless at risk, wouldn't it? That's what I'm really worried about super spells, and that's why I talked about if the system is dictating that you be reborn in the happiest moment of your life, what if it has a glitch? What if the system starts rebirthing people in the most sorrowful, most terrible points in their life? Like, what if other things malfunction and are not maintained as they are supposed to be? Like, that sounds like the final days, like, type shit. Like, the worst manifestations. They also said the 12th level is not mapped and off limits. They also implied that because of the mechanisms of travel here, that living beings must have come in here. I'm very much interpreting that at one point or another, living beings were able to come in here. The plants are alive. The plants are living. Not everything is seemingly a full simulacrum. We'll see. Shiny City have always a dark secret. It seems living beings coming here was a long time ago. So it could be that they didn't used to take the memories away. Most people don't care because they don't remember the departed. Right, I guess I'm talking about very long spans of time. The starting guy said this used to be used by the living. He like outright says that when we first come in here. Considering how smart the Alexandrians are made out to be, they shouldn't be making such an oversight. Either that or it's a major plot hole. Well, that's why I'm kind of sitting here working my way through. Maybe at one point, those of the departed were stored here. Living people came to sustain it, but also interact with the fallen. And then at some point, maybe due to some catastrophic thing happening on their world, I guess it's something that Sven talked about. Maybe it was, I just can't remember the order of it. Did they only start making this project when they started dealing with world-ending threats? They had obviously been working on the technology prior to it, I would assume. So like, I guess in my mind, I'm just thinking like, maybe they began this project before, I don't know. The lack of ether could also be the cause. Sure. Sick kids can't grow up to keep up the population. I mean, what it kind of sounds like to me is that everyone died. They're all already dead for the most part. Like, everyone mostly is already dead. And that the only reason that the memory of the departed are being sustained is because they're stealing soul power from other shards, like as we've been talking about, right? So like, they designed a system that couldn't infinitely... See, I think the problem here, what this place doesn't do that the ethereal sea does, I think, is helps replenish ether. Like, there's no replenishment of ether. We're just like attempting to recycle it like infinitely. Whereas the ethereal sea is literally made of ether. Like, so the soul's departure to it is it's a replenishment, it's a cleansing, and eventually probably a rebirth. But this is not. This is just a consuming, which is why Sven said the shit about devourer of worlds type shit. All this does is eat the energy up to output a digital reality, essentially. That's all it is. But yeah, there's no beginnings without an end. It's endless. And as a result, the people here have no concept of time. It reminds me a lot of the Emerald Dream. It reminds me a lot of the Emerald Dream in World of Warcraft. Thank you. The control units are built into the surrounding lampposts. If you tend to a few of them each, you'll be done before you know it. I think they also mentioned at one point that the birth rates plummeted. Yeah, they were talking about how the birth rate has been significantly less. And I would assume that's because birth, in a natural sense, is probably pulling on the ether kind of... Look, I think that, it's kind of like Final Fantasy VII. I kind of look at our ethereal sea, and maybe even now because of Jay, I almost look at ceruleum as like ether leaking out like a life stream does in Final Fantasy VII. And so I would think that if you put yourself into a place that is not genuinely connected to the life stream, that you can't really naturally continue to birth living beings. You can't birth things with a soul because you're not connected to any source. You're just trying to recycle what you have. And that's why they started plundering they're attempting to conquest and plunder our souls, because we live in a space via the source that is connected still to the ethereal sea. It seems like this is not at all. To me, this all feels very poignant during a crisis of crypto and blockchain, which consumes energy for a specific gain that very few people benefit from. Could you imagine Barrett's reaction to crypto?
Dude, the planet's dying, Kafkiwa. You gotta hear it. It's crying out in pain. We gotta do what we can, and we gotta take down Shinra. Even if it means becoming some kind of eco-terrorist.
They said that people become anxious without souls. They become, well, true. They started using beast souls as well, remember? Remember, they were struggling, so they started incorporating beast souls to a degree. Which is why you had motherfuckers that could transform into fucking serpents and shit. You have... Yeah, I mean, that's pretty scary. You have people that become more feral as a result of, like, contact with bestial souls, man. It's pretty scary. Wasn't it Zoralja's idea, though? That doesn't mean anything. Who gives a shit? It's still here right now. Doesn't matter if it was Zoralja's idea or not. The semantics of this are really not that important. I really love the concept of this zone, me too. Good night, Klopso. Have a good one, dude. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, here we go. Once the fountains are fixed, we can round up Eleneshpia and Kryl and head to the hydro terminal together. So the time is nigh. Come, let us set to it. Beast souls were used prior to Zoralja. The regulators and their functions outdate him by a lot. Yeah, the way that I understood it is that guy who transformed into a snake, that's not something that Zoralja came up with. If I'm not mistaken, that's a practice that came from Alexandrians. I could be wrong, but that's the impression I was given. That's a technology that came before. Kafkiwa. The fountain shows are supposedly magnificent. Perhaps they'll impress even my fussy little bun. Stop. Stop it with that. Dilapidated control unit. It's in the pillar. Remember the guy complaining about Arcadian being closed because Zoralja was using all the feral souls? Right. I love that she calls on that, me too. We know that Alexandrians use feral souls in the Arcadion, but that's been told to you already. And that Zoralja has co-opted their usage for his army, which is why the Arcadian shut down. Right. I forgot about them being involved with Arcadion. Thank you for reminding me of that. Gratia. I do so love the view of the city from here. The picturesque scene of passerby against the skyline is absolutely perfect. But the endless have greatly diminished. Buildings in the distance have grown dark. What will come next, I wonder? You know what the most fucked up thing about all this is? Is that if you used a regulator, you could die a ton of fucking times, and then you come here only to be imprisoned, essentially, not in their minds, that they don't see it that way, but while also watching the finite world around you also die. So now you see the buildings in the distance going dark, almost feeling inevitably that it's closing in on you. You have to die so many times if you're an Alexandrian. That's shitty. Dying over and over is shit. This fucking sucks. This is shit. This... Fuck you, Speen! Fuck you! Fuck you, Dale! Fuck you! Jesus. Sounds like a typical Savage raid. Speen. And it was made by a group of scientists called Preservation. I bet their lead scientist was named Eonar. The Preserver. This place reeks of her influence. I love how you always title the H when you say her. It's so good, dude. I love that you do that. Those little minute details gets me. It makes it fun. I know. I love the metaversal, like, multiverse bullshit that you and I, like, get into of, like,
switched on the circuits like you asked.
how she's infiltrated other things, even conceptually.
Thank you, everyone.
You just see it all over the place.
Hopefully, this does the trick.
Nicola the Kind gave similar vibes too, but... So smile and let your rainbow sing! Sorry, I thought it was the proper time for that. Whoa, holy shit, we're in Vegas.
Amazing.
You gotta come to the strip.
Wow. Look, Mother, look! It's beautiful. I've never seen anything like it.
She's never seen anything like it.
Wuk Lamat!
Is Kafkiwa not Alexandrian? She come from the source and go in the Golden City or something?
You?
I'm a
Wuk
little confused.
Lamat!
I guess that's what's implied, right? Because he grew up in that village, so his mom went in there.
By the gods,
How do I not remember this?
it's Namikka.
It's Namikka? She looks a lot younger.
Begging your pardon, but I'm looking for a child. A small Shibrali girl. Have you seen her by chance?
You are Namikka, aren't you? It's me, Wuk Lamat. Don't you recognize me?
Oh, what am I to do? The child and I, we aren't related by blood, but she's as dear to me as my own.
It's all right. You found her. I'm here.
You? Could it be?
Yes, Namikka. You know these eyes, this voice. It's me, Wuk Lamat.
Oh! It is you! Oh, how silly of me. But if you're here, then that means...
No. I'm still alive.
Oh, good. Thank the gods for that. But what power has brought us together again? This isn't a dream, is it?
It's not a dream. Or rather, it is a dream come true. I so wanted to hear your voice one more time.
Just look at you, my Wuk Lamat. Stronger and more assured than I've ever seen. Such hazards you must have braved and hardships endured to come so far.
It was tough, but I made it thanks to my friends. And to you, Namikka. I'm the person I am now because you always believed in me. Because you loved me as if I were your own daughter. Thank you. Thank you. You were everything I could have asked for. The best mother.
I'm so glad. Looking back, I've had a blessed life. And it was because I was a part of yours. When I lost my child to illness, I thought I'd never know happiness again. But it rekindled in my breast the instant you smiled your little smile at me. You became my purpose. My joy.
You're mine too.
To have this chance to speak with you again and leave nothing unsaid. I know not how or why, but I am grateful. So grateful. Where you must go, I cannot follow. But know that I'll always be with you. Take care of yourself. Promise me.
I will. Mama. I will. And one day, we'll meet again. I understand why Sving cannot bear to let them go. But as painful as it is to part, we're meant to live and die. To let go and let others carry on in our stead. We can't cling to everything forever. Come, let's keep moving.
Well, that was unexpected. I did not expect a scene with Wuk Lamat to make me fucking cry. Especially the first one of the entire expansion. Holy fuck. Oh, that was rough. Oh, that was really good. I need a second. Fuck, man. I didn't cry at this cutscene. My hate for Wuk Lamat ran deep. That's a shame, bro. Because that was a powerful message right there. That was beautiful. And the way that they use Namikka to do it is, yeah, that was really good. That's some of the, fuck. Make sure you have plenty of tissues. Where do you think I just went? Since I can't tear my WoW books up anymore, I love them again. I appreciate them again. We have to get actual tissue this time. Oh, fuck. Okay. Some of you guys are real cringe, and we're gonna go into sub mode because you can't keep your weird opinions to yourself. Let's see. That was a solid scene, and it's gonna hit harder for some people based on life experience, but it's one of the better scenes of Sex Pack. Crying does not mean the story zone is super great. It's more of a personal thing. Shut up. God. Oh, there's flight things here. I got remembered. People are ultra fucking cringe about this expansion. Yeah, they really are, dude. They really fucking are. No one can even have a good time playing this because other people are so jaded about their experience that they have to tell people about it. Like, we can't just let someone enjoy a scene that obviously touched them very deeply without having to, like, insert our personal opinions about how it doesn't make the expansion good. Shut the fuck up. You know, people did the same shit to Stormblood. Pyro Stormblood fucking sucks. Good luck through the slog of Stormblood. All the while, I'm like, dude, I kind of like Stormblood. They're like, well, lease though, but lease. It's like, dude, so what? So what? I couldn't enjoy this scene because I hate Wuk Lamat too much. Like, yo, you're cringe, bro. Imagine hating a video game character so much that you can't enjoy the narrative being given. Like, the most touching moment regarding someone who isn't Wuk Lamat who died. Like, we can't even stop to appreciate that for, like, a couple moments. It's so cringe. Just stop. It's not that you can't have your opinion, it's that we don't always want to hear your fucking opinion. When people are having good vibes and a good time on stream, you're entitled to your opinion, but doesn't mean I'm not gonna drag you for it or like, tell you to stop. You know? Don't ruin other people's experiences. I've been very critical of this expansion. And honestly, for the last like 10 hours of gameplay leading up to this, I've been pretty displeased. So I'm sitting here feeling like, finally, finally, you know, like finally there's a deeply touching moment. And that they did it with Wuk Lamat, I thought was surprising. I didn't expect that. Let me make this clear so you can understand how I feel about Wuk Lamat. I did not expect there to be a scene ever where something involving Wuk Lamat and her talking would make me cry. Okay? I think that alone goes to show that, like, I'm not, you know, I don't think this expansion is perfect. But this here is pretty nice. This is more like what Final Fantasy is about. To me, anyway. Just brush that shit off your shoulder. Here we go. The show was breathtaking, was it not? The fuck kind of first message is that? You just sat down. First time chatter. Who yums armpits? Wait, what? Stop. Just stop. You stop it. You're weird. GTKO HLK is such a god tier chat. I'm just gonna let you know, bro. You're a god tier chatter, bro. This guy has been typing nothing but smiles all fucking stream, dude. And then he said, and he just like gives little quips. Good one, chatter, smile. It just cracks me up, dude. Anyway, I've made a wonderful memory. Thank you. Also, are we not gonna okay. Are we not gonna stop and talk about how Wuk Lamat joining hands with the person seeking their memory of her literally restored Namikka to who she was when she died and like allowed them to connect right there? Did you guys see that? That was fucking crazy. That was crazy. That's some like dynamis shit right there, bro. Wuk Lamat's got such powerful dynamis, bro, it like gave the firmware update to the system. That was crazy. Just to make sure, Kafkiwa, you're not gonna disappear when we shut this terminal down, right? Not just yet. It's the Arrow terminal in the northwestern zone that holds my memories. Aaronville's silent. You already know how to operate the terminal. It's the same process as the fountain's control. Lampposts nearby? I leave it for you to decide when to shut it down. Doing so will cause the endless here to fade away, together with this beautiful scenery. If you still wish to speak with people or see the sights, you'll want to do that first. Is there no, okay. I'm a little paranoid because Jay said that I should really consider doing the side quests in this zone, but I don't see any yet. Quests appear after? Okay. And I almost feel like that's almost an illustration. I could be wrong, but it felt like that was an illustration that the system can get it wrong. Namikka did not seem like she was gonna be very thrilled or happy should that have been her fate. But this... So smile! Sorry, chat, it's never gonna stop happening. And let your rainbow sing!
Sleep tight, everyone.
Even the windows here are made out of electrope. But all this is real, I think. That was shitty as fuck. Depressing. Thank you. I had braced myself for it. But to actually erase the endless is hard. This is living memory's true appearance. And it's just silent. I like how they I like how they do that in this game, where they let the environment and the sound tell you a story, and they really let the gravity and the weight of certain things just really set in on you. And they did it with Ultima Thule as well. I mean, as soon as I stepped off the ship and fuck man, and heard the music in Ultima Thule, I was a fucking wreck. And this isn't that far off of that. This hurts. I'd be lying if I said otherwise. But the only way now is forward. I chose this path. I won't halt my steps. The land of dreams. Kafkiwa regards you and your companions with a sympathetic gaze. Don't torment yourselves so. I ask this of you, so the burden lies with me. And remember, we endless are but facsimils crafted from memories. You needn't feel guilt for erasing us. Be that as it may, it's so hard to say goodbye. You're up next, Kryle. It is. Nonetheless, it's our duty as the living to know and remember them. So let's pull ourselves together and keep at it. Keep seeking them out. I'd appreciate that. Come, let's head to the next zone. Yesterland, it's called. And another zip line at the Gate of Remembrance will take you there. Ah, but I ought to mention, while shutting down a terminal should erase the endless bound to it, those with strong, unresolved feelings may linger for a time. If you encounter such individuals, perhaps you could lend them an ear. For their hopes are proof that they once lived. Now, the woman who I think might have got down and dirty with Emmett Selk to create Erinville is quoting Emmett Selk. It's not the same, but it's an intentional callback for sure, I feel like. So is there really only one side quest besides this? The Canals of History. I'm gonna do the side quests. Daguerreo Archivist. Goodbye, Water Spirit. You lived. Impressive. Anyway, the Canals of History. Unreturned books are a nightmare for any lending library. Welcome to the Daguerreo Medical Collection. Forgive me. Oh my god, I'm dying. Hold on. Never mind. Ignore me. Forgive me for being so forthright, but I don't suppose I could ask a small favor. The facility's medical history texts were formerly available on loan, but several borrowers have disappeared, and are no longer able to return their books. Well, I have no idea why that would be. I was hoping you'd be able to help collect the outstanding monographs. Eventually, I too will be erased, and I can't imagine the collection will receive any more visitors. Nevertheless, a vast wealth of knowledge is contained within these walls, and I have every faith that it will prove useful to someone someday. Hence my determination to ensure that no document is left behind. I shall search the northern side of town. I'd ask that you check the southern terrace. If you find any books that relate to medical history, I'd be grateful if you could bring them back to me. It's not our fault they forgot to pay the electricity bill for the server. That's fucked. Interesting how these outrunners are generally hostile. The same vessel that Kafkiwa used to... Well, does this not imply that they... She was just remote controlling it, though. She didn't actually leave. Oh my god, it's a whole courtyard of smaller Pepsi men. What the fuck? I'm Worn Tome. The appearance of Electrope has triggered a profound transformation in Alexandrian medicine. Indeed, it would be no exaggeration to suggest that we are on the cusp of a new epoch. Though it would be premature to dismiss the continued importance of time-honored arts such as herbology and healing magics, we must be aware that any advances made via the application of Electrope are bound to foster new techniques. I'll be right back. Any channel there we know Pyro's not checking on, so we avoid spoilers potentially if we discuss something there. So the two safest channels in Discord is the Dawntrail channel and the War Within channel. Those two channels I do not read. However, spoiler tags are still required in there. That way if someone, me, myself, or some, me or somebody else clicks on it and doesn't want spoilers, that way we don't accidentally get them. But yes, the Dawntrail channel and the War Within channels specifically are spoilers, about the story and stuff are allowed. In the case of WoW and in Final Fantasy, we don't allow any data mining in the server. So if anyone is posting stuff data mined out of alpha or beta, that we don't allow that. So we do a pretty good job of we keep a pretty good lid on it, I think. General rule is we follow spoiler tags for anything Pyro himself hasn't experienced. Yeah, yes, that is correct. Yep. So even older games, so like if someone's having a discussion about Final Fantasy IX, they're spoiler tagging that. And the reason why is because people want to see me play FF9. And they want me to go in blind. They don't want me to know anything. And I don't want to know anything either, because I think it makes for the best experience, as I've said before. So, yeah, even stuff like that. You know, I know it seems probably ridiculous, but there is a very real possibility that I might play that game. You know, if there's games that are high up on, like, the people's request list, like Disco Elysium, if you're going to talk about that game and talk about its story or the end of it, we'll spoiler tag it. It's just kind of like a courtesy that we do there. So, there's definitely, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. And we do that, again, it's not just for me. This isn't about only protecting Pyro. It's for you guys too. And there are times where I have accidentally spoiled things. Like I said something about Dalaran on my Final Fantasy, or my WoW stream the other day. And someone was like, oh, I didn't know that. And I kind of felt bad. I kind of thought it was something that everybody would know. And I felt horrible for having spoiled them for it. But some people stay really clean. Some people don't know anything. You know? What about the stuff FF14 might spoil about 9? The likeliness that I will remember it, I guess, is relatively possible. I don't know. It's relatively high, I guess. But usually what I find in 14 is that though things are very much inspired by or references to other games, it's usually not giving away, like, what happened in those games. Like, I don't really know. I don't know what happened in Final Fantasy V, and I don't know about Galuf and Kryl in that game. I don't know about what happened in FF9. So I don't know really about those things. So in the event of that stuff, since it's not usually bearing down heavily on those narratives, but it's just referencing the characters, it's usually fine. It's usually fine. You know, it's like FF9 isn't that, Ivalice isn't that tactics? But no one was really worried about Ivalice spoiling anything for FF Tactics, right? So same concept. I think and 12, okay. I think FF14 does a pretty good job of referencing without spoiling things. Fuck, I fought Kefka in FF14 before I fought Kefka in Final Fantasy VI. Think about that. I killed Kefka on Savage before I killed him in FF6. That's crazy to me. That's like fucking weird. But it didn't change anything. Kefka was still awesome. Like the World of Ruin and all this whole sequence was fucking awesome. Didn't change anything. And then God Kefka, I mean, that was fucking sick. That was sick. I'm just gonna say it, Chad. I've said it before. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Final Fantasy VI is the greatest RPG made of all time. And I don't care if you're gonna argue. I respect your opinion. You can like whatever you like, but Final Fantasy VI is incredible. The biggest, the best, bigliest, most likely the best. It's incredible. I think FF6 is... FF6 is in my top 3 games ever. Which is wild for me to so boldly and comfortably claim. But it has to be. Like, dude, FF6 is so good that it's the first pick to go in my top 3 games. That's crazy. I think another one has to be World of Warcraft. I think World of Warcraft is one of the greatest games of all time. It is, however, an expanded upon experience. So, I don't know if it really counts in the same way that FF6 does, right? Because FF6, you buy the game, you get the game, it is the game, that was the game, that's the game. But World of Warcraft, you buy the game, it goes for any MMO, you buy the game. I would put RuneScape up there too, but I have to be careful. FF14 is also, if I had to make a top 5 list of all video games that I've played of all time, fuck. It's hard because I'd make 3 of them MMOs. I'd pick Final Fantasy XIV, I'd pick World of Warcraft, I'd pick RuneScape. Like, those are, in my opinion, 3 of the best games. Shit. You got some, dude, then you got Zelda games, though. You got Mario games. You got Pokemon games. Nintendo has some of the best games ever. Period. Then you got other Final Fantasy games. FF6 has got to be in there for me. I love FF10. Hitman Blood Money is one of the greatest fucking shooters, tactical of any. It's just so good.
Hello friends, it's me, Yoshida-san. I'm here to announce a surprise collab with a popular indie game. That's right, it's Dave the Diver.
Dave
Time
the
for combat
Diver,
fishing
let's go.
minigames, wacky sushi shenanigans and fat celery men. Please look forward to it.
You know,
Rat Jam.
you know what's, thank you for the $5, Yoshi P. I appreciate that. You know what's so hilarious about that? Is that all of that is goofy enough, but not too goofy, that it could actually exist in Final Fantasy XIV. That's what's so amazing. Fat celery guys, underwater fish combat and shit, dude. Come on. That could be a thing, dude. I love Yoshi P using Rat Jam, I know. Dave the Diver. So good. Play Fire Emblem. Three house Pyro. You might like it. And here's the thing, chat. I'm not trying to exclude any games, man. They're so... Dude, Outer Wilds is an indie game. I'm going to say something controversial, bro. And there's a lot of indie games that I've never played, so this is not worth anything. But to me, Outer Wilds is the best indie game ever made, too, dude. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievably good. It's unbelievably good. That game changed my fucking life. I'm not even fucking around. Outer Wilds changed my life. I'm not fucking joking. And the DLC just added a little bit onto it. Controversial take, then spits a fact. Look, I don't know about a lot of indie games, so I feel sometimes I'm kind of speaking out of place. But I guess I've played more games than I give myself credit for. I've played all sorts of fighting games, racing games, RPGs, platformers, brawlers, shooters, third-person and first-person, adventure games, exploration, puzzle, dude. I think so much time has passed and I've played so many games in my life that I have to like genuinely sit down and hard process like memories of what I played because there's so fucking many. And what's mind-blowing, I feel games are kind of like books in this way. No matter how many fucking books you read, there's more books. And like, I feel like video games are like that too. It doesn't matter how many you've played. There's more. There's always more. It's like an infinite amount of it's infinite. It's crazy. It's pretty crazy. It's not infinite, but you know, Super Nintendo games really hit differently. Fucking hey. Terranigma and Illusions of Gaia, Golden Sun, dude, Suikoden. Ugh. As a reader, that's a straight fact. There's always, even if you kept it to one, maybe this is an exaggeration. You could almost read infinitely about one subject. That's what's fucking unreal. That like, it doesn't matter if you're picking geography, history, if you're picking sciences, generally speaking, if you're like, you will never stop reading. But that's a great thing. Always be ABR, always be reading. The Legend of Heroes Trail series is absolutely nuts when it comes to continuity. It's the singular biggest continuous narrative I've seen when it comes to video games. Damn. I don't think I have those games. I don't think I have those. I don't even know from whence they came. Games and books are functionally infinite because they're produced at a faster rate than one person can consume them. I would agree with that, honestly. I'd say almost TV's the same way. Almost all forms of media are. Literature is just the longest standing form of it, I think. Well, theater. Theater, I wonder if theater came... You think there was people dancing around like a fucking asshole, like acting? I guess theater was probably direct... Does that count? Does talking with body language and grunts and hand signals, does that count as theater? No, you have to be doing it for entertainment. Music is ancient too. That's a good point, dude. They were probably doing shadow puppets and shit on the wall, like Plato's Cave. They're probably fucking getting down with some stick figures and shit, dude. Holy fuck. Oh my god. Oh, it's so crazy to try to think back to like how fucking ancient that is, bro. That's just crazy to me. It's crazy. Chrono Trigger, Scarlet of Mana, Scarlet of Evermore, Illusion of Gaia, Soul Blazer, Super Mario RPG, Final Fantasy VI, Earthbound, Lufia 2, Breath of Fire 2. What a good time to be alive. I know. And you can pick a bunch of like more mainstream games too if you want to. Call of Duty Black Ops 2? Hello? Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the original? Like, hello? Even when it comes to mainstream, like normie games or whatever, if you want to call it that, even those, dude. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Counter-Strike Source for some of us. Some of us played 1.6. Unbelievable. Oblivion. Oh, dude. Elder Scrolls, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. Pff, probably the best. I'm going to say, this might be a hot take again. This probably isn't a hot take. I believe, to a degree, that might be the best succession of release of games maybe ever. Morrowind to Oblivion to Skyrim is like, it's unbelievable, in my opinion. Metroid Prime consistently remains in my top 5. Metroid fucks, dude. I played Metroid Hunters on the Nintendo DS, and that game fucking rips. I love that game. I loved Morrowind, bro. I just always remember I'd make a dark elf. I'd go in the swamp to the north.
I used to swap my Sega with a friend for his SNES for weeks.
That's
I 100% got the better deal.
Oh, you swapped your Sega for the SNES, dude? That's wild. Yeah, you got the better end of that stick. That's for damn sure. Nothing against Sega, but like, come on. SNES back in the day, that's wild. Thank you for the Prime, dude, for 6. Helio Kami said, if it's Kafkiwa's armpits, who doesn't? I must have missed that. Thank you for the 300 bits, though. Criminal Dragon, thanks for the 31-month resub with the tier 1. Sega has Shining Force 1 and 2, and that's about it. Damn. It felt so cool figuring out how to join the Morag Tong. I was too young to even know what the fuck that is, dude. I never got anything of substance done. I would go into the swamp. This guy came falling out of the sky, and he dropped these like hyper jump scrolls. If you took them, it like it made your acrobatics like 7,000 or something. And what I would do is I would take those fucking scrolls, and I'd go to like the spooky dark volcano in the map or whatever, and I'd try to climb the volcano using the fucking scrolls, and I would save, and I would just try it, and I'd die. And I'd try it again, and I'd fucking die. And I just remember like just dicking around trying to climb this scary mountain with these like flying bird Rylac enemy looking things that were trying to get my ass. Does that statement mean you have not played any Phantasy Star games? Are you talking to Jay? The Cliff Racers. Yeah, dude. Morag Tong was the Imperial Sanctioned Assassins Guild. Oh, shit. Yeah, I had no idea about that. That was way above my pay grade as a... Morrowind came out... When did Morrowind come out? You know what year? Oblivion was like 2004, 2005, right? Morrowind must have been like 2000, 2001. It was on the Xbox. 2003? Oh, shit. God. So yeah, as an 8-year-old, I was not very good at video games. That's why I got into Pokemon. Honestly, because Pokemon, if something was too hard, you could just go and train your Pokemon up, just grind, and then you could just get past it. That's what I loved about Pokemon. Pleb to sub to watch. It's okay. It's okay, dude. I appreciate being here either way. Demon Chef, thank you for the sub as well, sir. There. Did you ever get to Magic the Gathering? I played MTG. Yep. I played MTG, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember. Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, having an older brother 6 years my senior was very beneficial. And for how much of a jerk he could be at times, my stepdad brought video games into our life in a very different kind of way. And so, you know, we are very fortunate that like he was a gamer, and because he was a gamer, we got to be gamers. So we were spoiled in that way. We got to play a lot of games growing up after we were done playing outside. I don't do that anymore. Playing outside's lame. And turns out your neighbors get pretty upset at you when you take mud and sticks and build a dam in the road with the water. They don't tend to like that, so we don't do that anymore. So, they call HOA, and then things get sticky. It's not a good situation. So anyway, we play inside now, but I remember that, yeah, just kind of having Game Boys and stuff. Having 2 brothers. Cameron Wave, as you guys know him, is 2 years younger than me, and Michael Calcifer is 6 years older than me. So I'm the middle child. Shocker, I know. Not helping out the stereotypes in some ways, but you know. And yeah, Michael would usually get... Cameron would play similar stuff with us, but he was more into like Hot Wheels and like racing games and shit like that. Not that I didn't like racing games. I also like those because I just like all games. But but Cameron would play stuff like that, and Michael and I would typically like get into Pokemon. So I would get one Pokemon, and Michael would get the other one. And so, you know, in the case of like Ruby and Sapphire, I got Sapphire, he got Ruby, and then I ended up getting Emerald later because he didn't play anymore. But he was actually the one who actually got into Pokemon originally, because when we were so young, that he was really the only one with a brain that could comprehend doing things in video games. So he had the original Game Boy. I have a Game Boy Color right there, a yellow one back there. He had one of the original, you know, big old fat Game Boys, the gray ones. And I remember watching him play on that, and he had like Pokemon Red and Blue, and then he got Yellow, and I was like, yo, and I saw the cards, the cartridges, and I was like, whoa, those are pretty. And I was like, those look cool. And so I just always wanted to play with them because they just looked cool. And then I watched him play it, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on here? And then I ended up playing, I think the first Pokemon game I ever played was Pokemon Yellow. But I think after that, he definitely had Silver, because I remember him playing that a shitload. He played a lot of Silver. And I think that Johto might be the best fucking region ever made, personally. I mean, look, I think Hoenn pretty good too. And Kanto's obviously, you know, like, that's OG shit. But I think Johto's pretty phenomenal. I think it has some of the most memorable, like, map layout stuff and like, legendaries to find and, like, big trainers to fight. Like, Red and Blue in those is pretty sick. So, I don't know. I played Red on a Game Boy Color. Same with Crystal. I played Crystal, dude. I remember Crystal was unique because, if I'm not mistaken, Crystal was the first Pokemon game that when the Pokemon came out in battle, they had an animation. I think that was the first time they ever did that. They had always made sounds, but I'm pretty sure Crystal was the first time they animated the intro when Pokemon got called in battle. And that fucking game was unreal, dude. Yeah, dude. You catch Suicune and all that shit, and then you go for Raikou, and I almost called him Hentai. Entei, I think is what it's called. Yeah, that's some good core memories for me, dude. I remember the first time going back and forth between Johto and Kanto on the ferry and being stuck on the ferry because I didn't realize what I had to do to, like, get over there to progress the story. Like, and then you get there and you're like, yo, there's like a Snorlax laying there? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I just think I have a lot of crazy-ass memories from Pokemon. It's a fantastic game series, dude. And then after Silver and Gold, that was when they came out with Ruby and Sapphire, I'm pretty sure. And then after that, it was Pearl and Diamond. And then Heart Gold and Soul Silver. White and Black is in there somewhere. Oh, I'm skipping, like, Emerald and stuff like that. Like, those are intermission ones. Yeah, I know. Emerald came out, you know, obviously right after Ruby and Sapphire, but yeah, dude. The last one that I played was Pearl. And it was, I thought it was, overall, you know, I thought Pearl was pretty good. It just didn't, the Pokemon started to get weird. They started a weird shit. Like, this is not a Pokemon anymore. Like, this is a toaster that you're calling a Pokemon. Like, I've seen the little toaster, and this is not it. Whatever the fuck this is, no. They just started getting weird with it, so I just didn't play it anymore. White one is personally my favorite. Is there multiple of that? Like a single scoop, double scoop, triple scoop ice cream? Yeah. Pokemon peaked with Black and White too, you think so? Gen 4 had God, though? Wait, what? The ice cream zone, then the trash bag one. Remember when Pokemon Go started a USA zombie apocalypse, bro? Yeah, Pokemon Go was wild for a little bit. Gen 4 had several gods and also God. Gen 4... That's Arceus, right? Palkia, Dialga, and Arceus? Yeah. And those are in the Pokemon movie. I remember seeing that in the fucking Detective Pikachu. The guy had big golden statues of him. The guy that fucking rebirths Mew or whatever. Mewtwo. The open world Pokemon exploration stuff just doesn't land for me. No, I'm not trying to go out in real life and do that shit. Look, I'm going to fully admit, video games are kind of nice because you get to sit down when you play them usually. You don't have to, like, get up and move. So the idea of a video game taking me outside to walk around is not one that appeals to me. If I want to go on a walk and get exercise, I would do that. But I don't, which is why I'm playing video games. So, you know, some people get a kick out of the combination of that, which is good. If it can motivate you, then fine. People abused VPNs and shit for that too? Of course they did. And now you have shitty Pokemon open world cash grabs now. This is the world that we invited. Okay, guys. Enough talk about... We went from all sorts of video games to now we're just rambling about different Pokemon. That was a great discussion. I appreciate that. I'm not talking about Pokemon going out IRL. I just mean the most recent Pokemon games are open world. Oh! Yeah, so let me comment on that and then we'll move on. I know that for some people, this may seem dumb or asinine to say, but I think that some games are better when they're linear. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think sometimes more linear games are good. And that sometimes they give so many choices and different exploration things that it almost feels paralyzing because games demand so much of your time. And so to do those things takes an immense amount of time. And I just think video games have in a lot of ways moved more towards that type of playstyle across the board almost, rather than retaining linearity at least some of the time. And I think some of the best games ever made are linear. There can be the concept of railroaded so hard that there is no sense of choice, but I don't really think that that's always a bad thing. I think sometimes you can still make a great experience with something that has little to no open world or customization. There's tons of games. Most, I would almost say most games are like that, but I don't know. Could be wrong. It's usually generic when open world, very much so. Go to this POI, climb the tower like you did before. Go to this POI, clear the underground dungeon like you did before. I love Elden Ring. The only reason why it's passable for me in Elden Ring is because there is enough variation and because they're worked into the environment so fucking well that I will accept it. But there are other games that try to seem to like pull off that random POI spread feel, and it doesn't feel good. It feels samey and it feels really obnoxious. And I'm gonna be honest, one of the games that felt that way to me was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Okay? That game has a lot of great stuff, and I will finish it eventually, but that was not great. I'm gonna continue here now that I can say some triggering shit that's probably gonna set Jay on a chaos course to absolute destruction. I'm gonna get disconnected if I don't continue playing, so here we go. I'm gonna read this again. Though it would be premature to dismiss the continued importance of time-honored arts such as herbology and healing magics, we must be aware that any advancements made via the application of electrope are bound to foster new techniques. That's wonderful. So instead of time-honored arts such as herbology and healing magics, they got so advanced with their technology that they basically lost the threat of actually dying, and this is what we got. So that's wonderful. They gave away their old techniques to go full-blown AI. The medical applications of electrical energy. The technique of stimulating the body. This is some Frankenstein shit. The technique of stimulating the body with electrical energy to alleviate pain and other conditions has recently garnered... Electrotherapy is a thing, I guess. Has recently garnered a great deal of attention in medical circles. In more practical terms, the abundance of electrical energy means the technique is also attractive from an economic standpoint. Oh, goodness. However, concerns about the dangers of corporeal etheric imbalance remain. Not least among ethereological researchers, many of whom disapprove of the technique. A thorough study into the potential side effects of electrical treatment is clearly warranted. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Concerns about the dangers of corporeal etheric imbalance remain. Gets people sick. All that electricity fucks them up. Then they start dying young. Sick kid and S9. Yeah, it's definitely what it makes me think of. Oh no, I don't want to be remembered. Levin sickness. This is some like borderline Garlemald shit. When an etheric imbalance occurs within the body, a number of issues present themselves. An overabundance of lightning energy can adversely affect sight and the other senses, eventually leading to paralysis. Due to the environmental changes that occurred 400 years ago, Queen Sphene herself reportedly suffered from an imbalance toward lightning energy, ultimately succumbing to her affliction. Perhaps because of this, efforts to establish a viable treatment have historically been approached with a degree of haste. Affecting sight and other senses, eventually leading to paralysis, and Sphene herself reportedly suffered from an imbalance toward lightning energy. And that's part, I mean, that explains a lot of, I guess, why she was going to see that kid. When you spasm or are paralyzed, you basically suffocate because you can't breathe. That's horrific. That is horrific. Someone earlier in stream about the potential stagnation of medical advances. Turns out the advances was the cause. Yeah. They started getting a little Allegheny, a little mad science-y with it, dude. That always happens, you know? It seems like the allegory here is that hyper-advanced technology tends to be very corrupting. Because in this game, with how it's blended with ether, it's basically magic. So, like, whether you become hyper-magical or you become hyper-technological, it seems like it's usually not... It doesn't result in good things. For really any of these civilizations that have delved into them at all. Like, it seems like they're kind of trying to suggest that, yeah, they flew too close to the sun. Yeah. Maybe kind of trying to suggest, like, slow down a little bit. Would be funny if etheric imbalance could be cured with magical floating pigs, right? Fucking hell. That sure would be funny. Ah, excellent timing. I've just returned from my search. Were you able to recover any documents? A faded tome detailing the myriad medical uses of electrical energy, a well-worn folio describing Alexandrian medical practices through the ages, and a monograph filled with medical accounts of etheric imbalance in remarkably good condition. Wonderful. These were the last outstanding monographs. I can't begin to thank you enough. The Daguerreo Medical Collection has always been dedicated to archiving and exhibiting the medical history of the entire continent. As well as tomes and treatises, the facility is home to a whole host of artifacts, including old curios and medical automata. Alas, I'm now the only remaining archivist, and the doors of the collection have been closed to prevent the ingress of fiends. You strike me as a more recent arrival. I would love to hear what you know of modern medical techniques. Electrope is widely used. Certain conditions remain incurable. I see. Perhaps you speak of the ill effects of etheric imbalance. It saddens me to hear that no major breakthroughs have been made by your time. The history of medicine is never-ending. An ailment is discovered, a treatment is devised, new techniques lead to new diagnoses, and new diagnoses require new treatments, much like the cycle of rain to river, sea to cloud. Technological progress flows ever onwards. As techniques advance, so too does medicine, and the incurable afflictions of the present are consigned to the past. My duty is to catalog these trials and tribulations that the knowledge may spur the next breakthrough. Nothing could fill me with more pride, which is why I plan to maintain the collection until the very moment I disappear. Please accept my heartfelt thanks for everything you've done for the Daguerreo Medical Collection. Daguerreo Medical Collection. That's another thing to think about. Sveen never had anyone else to turn to or keep her in check. And when she finally had someone to latch on to, well, yeah, it's too late. Daguerreo, by the way? Daguerreo? Fuck. Daguerreo. Really gives new meaning to taking an idea and running with it. I mean, in this case, now that they're attached to another shard, this case being the source, couldn't they just take those people with the etheric imbalance out of the barrier and it would eventually mend itself? Or is that only in the case with pure light/dark, i.e. void scent or sin eaters? I don't know that it would naturally fix itself. I can't remember, to be honest. I don't know. We're not entirely sure how the imbalance manifests itself. It might be like tempering, but it also could be like an allergy. Taking them to Thule is a good first step. Sorry, no flying pigs. No flying pigs. We can cure tempering. It's the same shit, no? I think tempering... I don't know, because tempering is directly tied... I mean, it's all ether, I guess, but directly tied to the manifestation of the being. And this is more like just the ambient energy. So I'm not I don't know if it's the same. It changes your balance into Primal's element or not, or no? The ethereal imbalance the kid had sounds familiar to the light one the kid had on the first. Yeah, and he was like catatonic. When we met the kid in Solution 9, I was furious our character didn't even think to call for Alice to try a Porksy. I think part of it is also, and maybe they just don't extrapolate on this, but I don't know that we can be confident that within the confines of a space like this, or Solution 9, that would even work. I don't see why it wouldn't, but maybe the availability of ether is extremely limited to the point where, like, it maybe wouldn't even... I just don't know. If we could impart some of our own ether or something, I don't know. Why not even try? Yeah, it does feel kind of weird that, like, we have things that we could potentially suggest or try, but, like, there's enough of a reasonable doubt about it that it's probably worth... It'd be like trying to fix the Sin Eater corruption while the Light Wardens were present. Right, you'd have to take him outside of Solution 9. And if I guess there's not a reason why you couldn't do that, right? But I don't think that they would agree to it. Like, I don't know if they'd be comfortable with that. You're going to take him outside the barrier? Like, would that be something that they would even want? Or would Sveen allow that? Would Sveen even allow us to do that? Could Electro put out the energy needed to rebalance? If we could convert it, we would just need to, aren't we learning about, didn't we learn about some shit? Doesn't this, what is it, Electrope? What is it that converts ether? Was it Electrope that was doing that? What the fuck was doing that? The thing that, it's got to be Electrope, right? The thing that, like, turns one type of ether to the next, or was it the key, or what was it that was doing that? Electrope can convert lightning to any other element. It's like the Dark Heart. That's kind of, I was thinking that. It's like the opposite of the Dark. This is really fucking me up, Lumino, because as this shit is happening in World of Warcraft, it's fucking happening in Final Fantasy as well, and I'm like, they're like bleeding together. I'm like, I can't remember what is in which game. It's fucking me up. This is the WoW expansion. Dude, it's very similar. All this stuff made me think of Black Mirror's San Junipero episode. I haven't seen Black Mirror, but Electrode plus runes. Right, arcane runes. P2 has an interesting line about that, that's all. What? War Within is shaping up to be the FF expansion? Yeah, light and dark. It's fucking wild. There's so much electrope and living memory, and you're making it to where it's unused electrope. Imagine if a malicious force were to find this treasure trove and weaponized it. Yeah, that is kind of scary to think about. Next FF14 expansion pre-patch, Horde banners appear in Thanalan. I think that force is already here. Yeah, I mean, she's right there. I mean, what you're... Yeah. A malicious force? You mean Sphene? Her benevolence has become malicious. That's the thing here. It's honestly what I was really hoping for from Mikola in Shadows of the Erd Tree, but that didn't happen. I was very, very upset about that. I was, yeah, just very shit. Well wishing at the wishing well. The tenacious tour guide appears to have some unfinished business. You'll never guess what just happened. There I was, right in the middle of one of my tours, and my customers just up and vanished. Is that you, Derek? You look stupid in that outfit. Cut your hair. It looks better short. Yes, it just was in the back before. And it's darker red, not the right color. But anyway. There's nothing worse than not being able to see something through to the end. I need to do something with all this pent-up pep. Jerk off or something. I don't think I've ever given you the tour. So how about it? I promise I won't take up too much of your time. Now, Canal Town wouldn't be Canal Town without its water. And where better to dip your toes into the local history than in two of our storied fountains? Come, I'll be waiting for you by the Font of Devotion. Okay, Devos. I'll be there. I'm coming. Come to the Temple of Devotion. Formerly the Temple of Loyalty. Oh, yeah, sick transfer right there, dude. Fucking stunts, dude. Tenacious tour guide. Oh, yeah. There you are. For such an obliging participant, I'll have to pull out all the stops. According to the legends, there are two water sources imbued with mystical properties in Canal Town. The first being this fountain right here. They say that a mere mouthful is enough to fill you with vim and vigor. Given that the town prides itself as a resort of revitalization, there could hardly be a more fitting fountain. Whether you believe the old tales about its healing waters is another matter. I believe it, and I'll tell you why. Myths are myths, after all. I hope you aren't too disappointed. Nevertheless, though its waters may be decidedly mundane, the font still lives up to its name. Over the years, crowds have flocked to the fountain, invariably leaving soothed and refreshed. For those who display such devotion, perhaps there is something to be gained from a gulp or two. I hope that whet your appetite, because another fountain awaits. Come and find me on the eastern side of town. Here's why I think it's real. Because I noticed that the big soul stone thing over there that's holding all the memories has water cascading down from it, and if I've learned anything at all from playing World of Warcraft, it's that when you want to spread influence, you do it through water. And it would be remiss of me to not consider the possibility that some excess energy of the memories and or souls stored within there is, in fact, being distributed through some of the water itself. And the idea that these fucking fountains are connected to it is one that is not far-fetched to me in the least. But that guy did say, He thinks they're decidedly mundane. Where's the water coming from? At least the water's real. That's true, which makes me think that it must be alive in some capacity. And it would only be alive if it had souls in it. Or memories, or residual memory soul ether. But maybe that's a dumb take. So wait, does that mean that all this section of the MSQs are culling of Stratholme? Stratholme is being culled as we speak. The great culling is upon us. The great scouring. Yo. Nothing, huh? Okay. That's interesting. It does have fish in it. Can you fish these waters? Look, it even looks like, with the patterns and the thing down below, it even looks like ordered water from World of Warcraft. I'm not even memeing. With like the subtle blue glow. The blue glow. When it kind of shimmers. That's funny. You can fish. I've caught many sharks for currency turn-ins. Whether water ether is tied to either knowledge or pirates, depending on whether it's astral or umbral. Either knowledge or pirates. I'm gonna say this, Carvalane tended to have a lot of knowledge too, so maybe they're just tied together. They're putting memories in the water to turn the frickin' dead people happy. Yeah, revitalizing them. Keeping them kinda brainwashed in a way. The glue blow. They're putting memories in the fucking water. Excellent. Allow me to continue. You stand before another storied fountain. These waters are said to bring happiness to whoever tosses in a coin. And if you aren't already blessed with happiness, I'm sure a different wish wouldn't go unanswered. Plenty of folks used to do that just in days fuck. Whew. Plenty of folks used to do just that in days gone by. Blessed with happiness. They literally drug the water. Are the legends to be believed? Well, there's only one way to find out. Here, take this coin and make a wish. Toss a coin to your witcher. To your wisher. An unadorned, time-worn coin. I wonder if Nosdormu would give me anything for that. The type you might expect to see languishing at the bottom of a fountain. They diluted carrots of happiness in it. Yeah, super spells, exactly. Yeah, keeping them happy unless your name's Namikka. If it is, you're reformed panicking and looking for a child that may or may not be there because fuck you. Dude, that was so bad. That was so bad to witness. I know I ought not to ask, but what did you wish for? It's a secret, for this journey to never cease. The strength to help as many people as I possibly can, to get done what needs to get done. Guess I'm making a stop to Home Depot, where doers get more done. It's a secret, motherfucker. Don't ask me that shit. You know it won't come true if you ask me that shit. A secret? Don't worry. I won't try and force it out of you. Good, because if you did, you'd end up bubbling out air in the bottom of that fountain right there. You're gonna disappear soon enough. Don't push it. You know, I've given this tour countless times, but not once have I made a wish myself. And not because I pour scorn on the legends or anything like that. I just never got round to it. But thanks to you, I got to finish my tour. To mark the occasion, I think I might just toss a coin in. Well, that's wholesome. Doesn't need air because dead? You're threatening a concept? You're lucky I'm not a fucking Lalafell anymore, otherwise I'd be threatening you. Now, as for my wish. If I had another chance at life, I'd want to connect with as many people as I could through my job. Relatable. I worked here as a tour guide in my former life, too. Before it became a home for the endless. Living Memory was open to living, breathing folk, seeking relaxation and revelry. How did any of you argue with me? You motherfucking what? I guess at least you didn't give it away, I guess. I mean, they had said it, but like, what? They even reiterated in this. The fuck? I guess you had me wondering, I guess, still. You had me, I guess it's better than you just saying it, I guess. I don't even know if I should be complaining. Maybe this was a good thing. Or maybe I still don't know. Maybe there's still living people. Maybe there's still living people here. Somewhere. Somehow. Besides what exists through the simulacrum. Boy, did I guide a lot of people back then. I never tired of sharing my knowledge and hearing visitors' wonderful stories. You skipped the side quests? What? I suppose that's why I took up the same job as an Endless. And I'm proud of that. Proud of staying true to myself. Huh. Ah, but you didn't come to hear me harp on about my life. Harp, huh? Thank you for sticking with me till the end. I hope you enjoyed yourself as much as I did. This guy's outfit is also just kind of interesting to me. The way he's speaking to me and shit, the color he's glowing and shit. I don't know if I'm wrong about this, but I get very subtle allusions to Azem from this character. And I don't really know why. I mean, I think I know why, but it's weird. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying that it like means anything, but it's just like a weird vibe. Especially this right here. You didn't come to hear me harp on about my life. Thank you for sticking with me till the end. I hope you enjoyed yourself as much as I did. Tour guide for a traveler? I mean, come on. Here's to hoping our wishes come true. Farewell, my final customer. I don't think it's an Azem shard, to be honest. Didn't say that. In fact, I overtly said that I wasn't saying that so that I wouldn't get messages like that talking about that it's not an Azem shard, because that's not what I was trying to say. Well wishing at the wishing well. Here we go. All I was saying is that he gives those vibes to me. He gives those Derek vibes, those Azem vibes, those... I don't know, he just gives those vibes. He gives me the vibes. And here we are, this whole zone's about memory. You know? I don't know, something to think about. And I was saying he didn't give me the vibes? No, you were saying that you didn't think he was an Azem shard. Twice. Which is not what I said. There is nuance to that. How do I... Oh, do I go back to this door? How do I get out of here? Yeah, okay. So are we shutting this place down? Yeah, we are. I can't go inside this, can I? So neither of you think he's an Azem shard? To be contrarian then, I think he's an Azem shard. I guess the message doesn't have to be read that way, I guess, does it? Can be read as... Yeah, I don't know. I'm being an idiot. I think I'm being a little bit of an idiot. Because in a sense, by him saying that he doesn't think it's Azem, he's just agreeing. I literally agree with what he's saying. But because the perception is that that's implying that that's what I said, that's why I said anything. What a peculiar situation. What a dumb thing. I hate language, bro. Greetings. If you wish to return to the Gate of Remembrance, simply take this zip line. He can be a shard of whoever, it's just speculation. I'll be right back. He's an Azem shard. That guy's an Azem shard. Is anyone here? Is there anyone here who isn't an Azem shard? It's funny people think an NPC is a shard of X and Y when we all know if anyone's a shard, the narrative will make a huge song and dance about telling us to make sure we don't miss it. That's true. I love how you typing huge puts Hugo in the chat. So I got a little carrot cake here, Chad. I'm fucking enjoying this shit. It's delicious. Such a good zone theme. I was watching someone play through this MSQ, and for some reason they came to the conclusion that Kryl that Kryl is an Azem shard too. Now that's one I think we can all agree on. I don't see that happening. Yeah, Devixa, it's weird. And I've talked about this before, but I don't think there is really ever like a meeting Azem, you know? We meet Azem in multiple different ways already. Well, without ever actually meeting Azem. But I agree, Grimno. Should we ever meet in some weird way, they better Spider-Man point. But there's no really like meeting Azem because, well, we are Azem, you know? We have the majority parts of Azem's soul. And so there really is no Azem to meet, just shards. Like Ardbert. It's the closest we can get. But it's beautiful when it's done properly. I love Ardbert. Ardbert's one of my favorite characters of any video game. And it's because at first I couldn't stand him. And then how they tied him to my character's identity was like, wow, this guy's a part of me? Like, wow. That's crazy. We're all thinking it. Doesn't hurt that he's hot. Oh, stop. Ardbert was always in me. I wish. You guys are fucking wild, bro. Okay, here we go. Hello, beautiful little Olive. I know that you're in here seeking to lick my plate with a carrot cake.
This carrot cake is not meant for you, little one. It is made with purely carrots of happiness. Not for the likes of dogs. No doggy carrots. You have to venture to the moon so that someone will let you have some of our carrot cake.
Chat's gonna overflow, horny Shale. Yeah, between Shale. Look, dude. I sit around and fucking thirst Aaronville. Like, can I even be mad? Chat's unhinged because their streamer's unhinged. The fuck? By the way, did y'all know Ardbert originally had a female counterpart? Yeah, she's right here. But no, I don't know anything about that. The meteor survivor? My theory is that we'll never meet Azem. Well, again, I don't really think you have to, no offense, I don't think you really have to theorize that. We literally are Azem. We cannot meet Azem because we are Azem. We can't meet them. There's no one to meet. But like I've said, the way that we meet Azem is by discovering who we are through the interactions with our friends and with our allies like Grahatia. We see that reflected in Grahatia. We see that reflected in Wuk Lamat. And sometimes we see it reflected in Aaronville. But the way that we have met other shards of Azem, those are the only ways that we can meaningfully meet Azem besides the discovery that we are Azem. So it's more a story about self-discovery, not really finding Azem and meeting whoever they are, because that's who we are. That's why we're important. That's why we're important in the game. So yeah, that's why the whole Emmett Selk thing happened, why the whole Vana thing happened. So there's still a chance that we could meet shards of ourselves, absolutely. On some of these other reflections, absolutely. And so that's why everyone is always keeping an eye out for it. Thinking of, you know, when we see characters like, it's why I was very suspicious of Derek, because he's so much a reflection of Azem, in my opinion. But he's obviously not a shard. But could he have been inspired and crafted or exist in the likeness of Azem in a sense? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel that they heavily imply that in all the interactions between Derek and you in the Myths of the Realm raid and that he stays around and how he wanders the world. Like, it screams Azem. But when do we meet a shard of Azem? But when we do meet a shard of Azem, we'll know. Because there will be 6 flashback cutscenes in 4 over-exaggerated surprised reaction shots in a whole musical cue to let us know. I agree. It's not something that they would slip by you, you know? They would want us to know. I agree wholly with that. And I don't think they will do this, but they could. I don't think that we will ever see a shard of Azem become the bad guy, or, well, but I guess become the, not from perspective, but unequivocally kind of the bad guy, or die. Like, I don't think they'll do that. But maybe they could. Like, maybe like the final shard, darkened Azem or something. I don't know, that'd be weird. Any more than what Ardbert was the bad guy originally. Right. And that's what I mean of like it's more, that was more, as we found out, more perspective, and you know, that's, well, Seltzerian, that's why I said, besides the perspective kind of evil that Ardbert represented temporarily, because we found out through context and learning that there was something deeper going on there, and Ardbert realized who we were. We had that connection. That's a very specific thing, right? I mean more so like a unequivocally the bad guy kind of situation. Like, it's like a situation where they couldn't be like redeemed or cleansed or merged with us in some kind of way as a result of it, you know? But I don't know. I mean, they have had someone bearing the role of Azem be the villain already. It's fairly implied at the end of Endwalker that Emmett Selk saw himself as the bearer of the legacy of Azem as he was carrying the crystal, until he entrusted it to us post-death. Well, sure. Yeah, I guess that's a good point too. As the bearer of Azem's crystal, kind of living out that legacy, I guess that's a very good way of putting it too. That very, you know, in a literal way, but also metaphorically, Emmett Selk has already done that. That's a very good point. But that also just goes to show that Emmett Selk was literally our best fucking friend. Like, next to Hythlodaeus, our unequivocally just our best friend. And that's what makes it so fucking tragic. You find out that, like, your best friend from eons ago is trying to hold on to your legacy. Like, but is afraid and too in denial because you've been gone for so long that he can't accept it when he comes to see who you really were. That is so tragic and beautiful, dude. It's unbelievable. Azem's modus operandi is, I will do everything and anything I can to protect the people I love, and that is a motive that can easily be twisted into a villainous motive. Just look at Sphene. Exactly. Yep, absolutely. It can also leave you easy to manipulation. Look at Wuk Lamat. Sometimes being vulnerable and loving leaves you susceptible to the darker, more manipulative sides of things sometimes. And that's a good example of, you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Maybe Sphene is Azem Shard? I mean, I could see it in a way. I could also honestly see, like, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool if in some way Sphene was like Wuk Lamat's Shard. Because when they have them standing across from each other like they did, and like the way that they're so similar, to me, like, I don't know, they're both queens who love their people and want peace and happiness and joy for their people. And one of them recognizes because she's able to, because she has free will, that the things that Sphene's doing is not okay, no matter how much she loves her people. On the other side of things, Sphene, not of her own volition, gave up, unfortunately, or lost her free will. And so even though her memories, you know, kind of enable her to be who she used to be in a sense, she doesn't have true free will, and she doesn't have the ability to really, like, change. And so this kind of mechanization of their people, in a way, took away, like, their free will, even if their memory persisted. And that's fucking awful. That's just so awful. They basically made a system that enslaved their own souls, dude. And then when they started to run out, they had to look for other people to use as fodder. That is so tragic. Like, holy fuck. So, yeah. I'm honestly at this point wondering what the difference between they and the Omicrons are at this point. The Omicrons were full digitalization. They found a way to basically convert, as far as I understand it, their base etheric value into machinery entirely. Not in the form of, as I understand it, retaining memories and those kinds of things. I guess in a sense, I guess that whole Omicron thing did suggest that it is possible. I don't know. Those also weren't real Omicron either. That's the thing, is like, not that they weren't a good representation, but the Omicron, anything we interact with in Ultima Thule is not really them, which is also a barrier to understanding how that actually works. Is it a true and full representation because their souls are not actually there? Or like how Omicrons would be more the transfer of consciousness, where these are just recreations from memories, and the use of souls for power. That's a pretty explicitly important part of this. Sphene is interesting because she mirrors the Dawn Servants. From what I understand so far, like, if you combine Wuk's compassion and Kona's embrace of technology, you could get a Sphene-type individual. I totally agree. And actually, I said something very similar to that earlier. I said that if you combine Zoraljah's blind fervor to prove himself, and you combine Wuk Lamat's love for her people, I thought maybe that would be a good one. But I feel that what you said, maybe all three of them. Maybe it's all three of them. Maybe it's more like that. Wuk Lamat's compassion and love for her people, Kona's desire to incorporate technology to better the lives of others, and Zoraljah's fervent desire to prove himself and to like to see it done, you know? I feel like in a way Sphene is like a combination of those. Yes, truly. Yes, true. Lately I've been saying internalizing is what you've been saying about fractals. I'm starting to see them everywhere. They're not just in WoW. Not just in WoW. I think all three are part of what the Dawn Servant was in 1. Yeah, and when you look at Golul Jaja, in a way it sounds, you know, there must be balance between reason and resolve. And what exists between reason and resolve? Peace? Kona, reason. Zoraljah, resolve. Wuk Lamat, peace. Compassion. Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be beautiful. And in a way, the true blessed siblings were never what people thought. Reoccurring themes are a thing. Just look at TV tropes. Oh yes, of course. Reoccurring themes are in every piece of media. Zoraljah and his might is definitely something Wuk Lamat and Kona are going to be missing to some degree, I think. I saw it more Wuk being the heart caring about people. That's kind of how I see it too. That's why she would be compassion, or... Zoraljah represents a person wanting to live up to others' expectations. No, that's just one part of Zoraljah. Zoraljah was only able to pursue the expectations because he had the will to do so. As he points out several times, that which I have claimed by my own hand, that which I have conquered. To say that Zoraljah doesn't have a strong will, even though it was being used in the wrong way. Not that you said he doesn't have a strong will, but I don't see look, I try to look past what Zoraljah was dealing with, you know? I try to see him for his we're looking at people for their benefits right now, not for their bad parts. And I think that there are good things to see in Zoraljah. I do. He just is kind of like an Arthas character where he kind of got turned down the wrong path and he was so blinded by his pride that he couldn't stop. It was just kind of too far. I always also saw the original 4 contestants as the 4 parts of the old king. The strength Zoral, the mind Kona, the heart Wuk Lamat, and the body and form Bakul. That's very well said. In the order they fell in the tournament, representative of their importance towards being a ruler. Interesting. And the heart being the longest standing piece. Damn, that's so sick. That's a sick interpretation, dude. I like that a lot. That's really good. Yeah, that's really good. Damn. Ah, yes, Zeralja, the League of Legends player that wanted to 1v1 you, brah, for 30 years. There's also the fact that the strongest and those who succeed had others to rely upon and stand with them. And Bakul Jaja found that out too. Because he realized that even for all his physical strength, it wasn't enough to stand alone. It never has been. Xenos figured this out too. Xenos learned because he hot swapped bodies. I wonder, is it the body which grants you fervor and fervor and strength? We will find out. Give me your body. My friend, my mirror. This guy, like, he learned the hard way. It isn't strength, not just pure might. There's a difference between power and strength, yep. I always joke the candidates were different kinds of 14 players. Okay, there's another layer to it there, huh? I would give him my body in a heartbeat. I mean, what? Okay, let's play the game. Yesteryear has an altogether different look. Each zone has a distinct character, it would seem. Twould seem. That lively place yonder appears to be Yesterland. I wonder what manner of folk we'll find there. Worry not, Pyro. I don't intend to halt my steps either. Kafkiwa's already gone ahead. Let's get going too. System reboot complete. Bleep bloop. Error. Error. User registration confirmed. I bid you welcome to Yesterland, where the dreams of children and inner children alike come true. Please enjoy your stay. You know what I noticed about Sphene as well earlier that no one really said anything about? She cried. She had tears come from her eyes. That was pretty remarkable for something that I consider to be a machine. So perhaps I don't know if they addressed this already or not, but it seems like maybe Sphene's giving us access to these areas? How are we getting access to these areas? I don't even know that I understand. I feel like Sphene's doing that. Even if, like, the robot's taken over, her memories maybe are, like, trying to fight through that. And I almost felt like her crying was, like, an example of that. I was like, holy fuck, dude. Like, that emotion is as real as it gets. If that was real, then Sphene is still in there somewhere. Even if only in memory. And it seems like, obviously at this point, there is a central processing unit of some kind. There is some kind of something in here that is using her, it seems like. And she's much like Zoval in this way. She looks like the bad guy, but the Primus is behind the scenes pulling the strings. And all Zoval's doing is trying to break out of it. And who also had memories robbed from him. What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. Amazing. Is this also a recreation of an actual place? Kafkiwa did say she was granting us access. Did she say that? I couldn't remember that. She said it herself earlier. She's powerless against her programming. I don't know. She's powerless against her programming. Oh, yeah. She's a prisoner to the program. And now she's gonna delete her memories so that she doesn't have to be a prisoner anymore. The program is erasing the true memories of her. Right, so that it can't, presumably so it can't fight back. So who wrote the program? preservation, right? They wrote something that they imprisoned their own queen. No more conscience, and she can do what must be done. So they're gonna erase what is left of Sphene so that the program can just do executions. Literally. The program's trying to execute Order 66 right now. The messed up part is that she's deleting herself. Yeah, that's fucked up, dude. In this way, dude, that's so fucked up. She who cursed me with this soft and powerless nature. Right, it almost sounds like the thing is talking separately from Sphene. It really gives me the impression that there is like a machine thing behind it. Yeah, it's not a good look. Tron vibes. After a fashion, Yesterland is themed upon a period of peace, before the storm surge had engulfed the world in conflict. It was a golden age for Alexandria, and they've captured it here in the form of an amusement park. Well now, another large-scale attraction. Tell me I'm not the only one who's excited. It's exhausting just being here. It feels like the gold saucer. I'm put in mind of Li Meg. It's exhausting just being here. So it goes with such places. But at the very least, it doesn't appear overly crowded. On the far side of Yesterland, whoa, is a castle. That's where the terminal is located. In the basement. Yo, what? What the fuck? This is some like, gives me like some Alice in vibe, Queen of Hearts, Alice in Wonderland vibes. Queen of Hearts castle fuckery right here, dude. Yellow brick road, weird Wizard of Oz type shit. I'll go on ahead and wait for you there. Take what time you need to get acquainted with the locals. Alice in Vibe Wonderland. That we're in the Goomba Kingdom. Like before, we'll speak with the Endless. We'll learn what's dear to them before doing what we must. Right, let's start by exploring and getting our bearings. Before chat says it 20 times, this castle's look is based on a castle in FF9? Okay. Let's get ahead of chat. FF9 references again. I thought you'd left me all alone. I'm so sorry, dear. I'll never be alone again. That's right. We'll always be together. The three of us. What are we doing here, dude? Send me back. No. No. Just get me out of here. Fuck. Alright. Alright. Old-fashioned house. Appearing to be a domicile, this building resembles those that lie submerged in heritage found. The windows are composed of a colorful array of stained glass. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of inspiring me to want to play FF9. The beautiful artwork on the ground depicts a twirl of stars. Perhaps such a sight was once visible in the Alexandrian night sky. Said the sub goal. No, we gotta calm down. We gotta calm down because we have games that we cannot not stream coming up here soon, you know? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Maybe once you finish DT in the raid. Once I finish DT in the raid, World of Warcraft's next expansion comes out in 6 days. So. Oh, hello there, miss. We were just talking about Sir Otis. Do you know him? He's a bit odd and doesn't get jokes, but he's really strong and can vanquish fiends in a flash. He's probably out there fighting right now. This is fucked up, dude. When I grow up, I want to be strong like him. The Sir Otis the children spoke of calls to mind another Otis. It might be worth seeking the man out to confirm his identity. Wait, it's someone here? Where the fuck is he? The fuck? The fuck is that? A man's engaged in battle with fiends. He may need a helping hand.
I know not who you are, but my thanks for your timely aid.
Your bite's so strong!
Oh, that voice does not fit.
That was amazing, Otis. And you too, miss.
Ha ha ha! Fiends such as these are naught to be feared.
My character's realizing.
Dealt with it already, have you?
My character recognized the laugh.
Be at ease, one and all. So long as I, Sir Otis, live and breathe, no citizen shall come to harm.
This voice actor sounds like Joshua from FF16 to me a little bit.
Otis!
she got it easy.
People, could you really be that Otis?
I'm certain I do not know what you mean by that, Otis. I am who I am, and I should very much
This
like to
VA
know
is also
who you
Thaliak.
are.
You're Sir Otis Villona, Lord Captain of the Royal Knights
just
of
sounds similar to
Alexandria,
me.
yes? We met you while searching for Gululja. You cooked a most delicious repast for us. Fought beside us in Solution 9.
Gululja. Solution 9. I've never heard of such things.
Huh.
These events of which you speak are utterly unknown to me. As are you. I'm quite confident I would recall if we had met before.
Which is doubly funny because the first time you fought Thaliak, you thought it was Joshua's VA.
Villainy!
Villainy!
You seek to bewilder me for purposes most foul!
Villainy!
No villainy intended, I swear. Tell me I'm not mad. This is definitely the Otis we know.
Villainy!
Right?
In the flesh, no less. An earlier version. He won't remember his time as a machine.
I say, What are you whispering about there? Wait. I've no time for this. I must attend to my preparations for the founding celebration.
What are you whispering about there?
The children begged and begged that I perform in the marquee play, and I cannot possibly disappoint them. I take my leave of you. Good day.
The way this guy talks is so funny to me. Good day. Oi, oi, what are you whispering about over there, mate?
Celebration?
Yeah, I don't know. Wuk Lamat, I was too busy laughing at what he was talking about. I always change Steiner's name to Rusty because my uncles did it. Gods, what a surprise to meet Otis. Oh, fuck. He might not be the exact same as the one we met in Heritage Found, but still. Thinking back, he mentioned that he was a test subject for soul preservation. That might explain why he's here in this way. In any case, I'd love to talk to him some more. There are some things I need to tell him. Night World Silver Piece. Whatever design its face may have once borne is now entirely lost to time. Night World Silver Piece. Which I've been getting a lot, I guess, throughout this thing. A Knight of Alexandria. You know who he kind of looks like, chat? He kind of looks like... He kind of looks like Hildebrand. He kind of reminds me of Hildebrand. Right, let's go after Otis. He's bound to know about the past. About the Alexandria of old as well as Speen when she was a living person. The problem is he doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk. Perhaps we can offer to help him with this founding celebration. That might warm him up to us. He set off this way. Come on. I have got to clean my glasses. Oh, I do say. I'm a Mandaville man, doing what only a Mandaville can. Villainy! Villainy! I approve of this message. I will imagine his voice now in the future Hildebrand quests. Does this mean we'll meet Hildebrand Shard Hindenburg in yet another shard? Maybe. Beatrix and Freya deserve a much better story. So, what's funny is that the way that this guy sounds is basically how I think how I make Hildebrand sound normally. So it's doubly ironic for me because the voice that this guy has is kind of how I talk when I do the Hildebrand voice. So I just think that's pretty funny. I'm gonna look around a little bit. Brandahild seems a lot less random after all the stuff in Dawntrail late game. I've quit FFXIV over 8 years ago, but I'm watching your playthrough here on YouTube. Thanks. I hope that's a huge compliment. I hope you enjoy it. The colors and classic styles here make it feel so different to S9. Well, this is much more a representation of the world that is FF9, that is Alexandria. Whereas the other was much more cyber, retro, whatever, you know? And I guess up until towards when we were going there, I'd kind of forgotten about the gateway in Skydeep Cenote. And I guess I wasn't, I mean, I didn't expect that there was, I guess I forgot that there could actually be a City of Gold, and that Solution 9 isn't necessarily that. Kind of jumped the gun there. I don't really know what I thought this last zone was gonna be. I don't really know. I was thinking more like a blank memory space where like things are more otherworldly and not quite as they seem. But this is significantly more technological, of course. I was almost kind of thinking like, I don't know, like something from Kingdom Hearts or something. I don't even know. Or like going inside of Cloud's mind in FF7 or something. I thought maybe they had created some kind of like pseudo-conscious space where like your I mean, they have in a way, but like, I was thinking more along the lines that they had like put their consciousness entirely into this, and so it's been a lot more ornate than that, and you know, in method and execution, not as simple as what I was thinking. It's similar, but I was thinking more of like a white blank consciousness filled with different data fragments from all sorts of memory, which in a way it's kind of what this is, but I was thinking of it being more chaotic. And it lines up so well with what the giants saw. Instead, we get to go to heaven. Yeah, this makes a lot more sense with what the giants saw. I agree. I also love the battle music gets muted here. Yeah. Turn on. To not. They can't decide if they'd rather ride the Bergmer ring. Was that the Nürburgring? Or the Esperance wheels. Esperance wheels? Me? I just wish they'd make up their minds so we can go already. Valid. Maybe they never make up their mind. Otis, good to see you, friend. You're nearly wearing more metal now than you did when I first met you. Are you harmed? Or are you unharmed? The latter, methinks. To which Her Highness replies with her winsome smile. I am, thanks to you. I am, thanks to you, my dearest Otis. She sounds like a fucking Loperate for some reason. Yeah. Hi. So. You again. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your rehearsal. Shall I play the part of the queen? These fucking quest answers are some of the best that they've ever put in the game. I gotta give them that. Some of these are fucking hilarious. I appreciate the offer, but there is no need. The script is my own work, you see, and I know Princess Fiend's lines even better than mine own. Oh my god. There is, however, a scene with which I struggle. Hey, this looks like fun. Can I join? You as well? I thought I said that I was busy. You did, but we thought that maybe we could help. You're getting ready for the founding celebration, yeah? I am, and if truth be told, we are in dire need of assistance. For this edition of the celebration, there is to be a play about the history of our realm, for the children's enjoyment. But with fewer of us being given form, we haven't enough hands to carry out the production. Thus have I been tasked with not only writing the script, but performing as myself besides. Calm down, it's all right. We really are happy to help in any way we can. Just tell us what to do. For the same reason the production is short-handed, it has become difficult to gather a crowd. I'd be obliged if you could spread the word of the play to the children in Yesterland. Consider it done. We'll take ourselves around and talk to younglings. Splendid! Oh, and to better appeal to them, we have adorable animal costumes for you to wear. Together with your cheeriest bearing, of course. All right. Anything to make the children happy. Let's see. Ah, yes, this one should be suitable for you. Oh, it's a glamour. I was confused for a moment when you handed me the device. She still has the axe. I have something in mind for you as well. Let me know when you're ready and I shall activate it for you. Am I gonna be a pig or a frog? What's it gonna be? Ready, are you? Then let us have you don your costume at once. I am a bunny. Marvelous! There's not a child that would fail to be delighted. It really does suit you. The fuck does that mean? Now that you're suitably attired, I pray you go forth and promote our play to the children. Concentrate your efforts here, in the vicinity of the air cab station, and see that you make it fun. In the meantime, I shall continue my own preparations. Shut up, Taro. Should your costumes wear off, I shall provide you with another. You must be wearing the costume. Okay. Did they make you a bunny if you're a Vieira, and is that racist? It's kind of fucked up because the first thing I thought was Wuk Lamat. She's already a cat. Just get Aaronville and Wuk Lamat to do it. The airship on the track is kind of cool. Are you shitting me? Unable to execute command while wearing a disguise? Are you fucking kidding me? You can't look out while wearing a fucking disguise? What? Absorbed girl. Oh, are you here to look at Queen's Fiend too, Mr. Rabbit? The great big golden statue is exactly what she looks like. That's what my mum told me, and she's a scientist. You know, it gives kind of Genova vibes. My mum also told me that the terminal is a tomb. Her Majesty must watch over us all from there. Oh. A play about the realm's founding. I love history, that sounds great. I'll let my mum know so we can go and watch together. Thank you, Mr. Rabbit. Yeah, I mean, she kind of looks like the end singer, not gonna lie. Looks like she's wearing a mind control device that probably connects her to the fucking mainframe. What if her actual body's in there, bro? It's a tomb. That'd be crazy. They got her locked in that bitch like Genova.
I mean, that'd be like Nova.
Look out. She's the reverse end singer. Yeah, in a way. Yeah. Yesterland. Designed around the element of Earth, this section of living memory features a number of attractions. The Esperance wheels and the air cab ride both afford an incredible view of the entire park, while those who prefer to keep their feet on the ground can enjoy a stroll around the historical recreation of Proto-Alexandria. I seem to have lost my disguise, Otis. Thank you, sir. Oh, rabbit monster! You shall rue the day you cross paths with us, with this royal knight. There's gonna be a play? With knights and stuff? Come on, let's go and watch. We can ride the air cab together. Air cab, huh? That's what they call that thing? Look, it's a rabbit. What is it? Want to play with us, do you? There's going to be a play about Queen Speen. I want to see it. We'll head over to the castle right away. Thanks for telling us. The bin is kind of hilarious. Why is that there? I don't know. Maybe even subtle systems inside the system to reincorporate items and objects. Perhaps after it's dispensed into this receptacle, then it just gets moved from one area of data to another and gets reused infinitely, probably. Something like that. Like looping data. Or maybe it just doesn't do anything like that at all. Oh, hello there, Mr. Rabbit. What's the matter? Ah, the play. I know about it. They sometimes have performances over at the castle. I've seen it before, so I was going to give it a miss. But if you say it's special this time, then all right. I'll go. Well, who should interrupt my air cab watching but a person in a silly costume? Let me guess, you're here to tell me about the play. Don't bother. I've seen it no less than 50 times already. This one's special. Otis is going to be performing as himself? Now that's a new twist on an old classic. All right. Just for that, I'm willing to see the play again. Just came in, really appreciate your glamour choice. Looks great. I didn't choose this. You've finished making your rounds. Excellent. I shall take the costume off your hands. God damn, this fucking hair in my nose is killing me, bro. Trim that. Thanks to the two of you promoting the play in my stead, I could memorize the lines to my satisfaction. I am grateful beyond measure. Don't mention it. It was fun meeting endless children. Was it? Endless children? What an odd thing to say when we're endless ourselves. It's, complicated. I'd explain it to you, but the play's due to start soon, isn't it?
Aye, very soon. I must needs make my way to the venue and see to the final preparations.
Let's talk later then. We'll be cheering you on from the crowd.
By all means, but hold on. What would you say to performing in the play as well?
Are you serious? Oh no, definitely not. I've never done anything like that, and I don't think I can learn lines on such short notice.
Rest assured, it wouldn't be a difficult part. What I have in mind for the two of you is a little sword play. A duel between the Alexandrian and Lindblom soldiers.
Oh?
That is certain to please the children, and without the need for words.
What do you think?
How about you, Lindblom scum? This Alexandrian knight is going to take you down. How about you, Lindblom scum?
That keen, are you? Alright, you asked for it.
And it is settled. I shall prepare your costumes for you. You need but engage in a mock fight. While there isn't time for a rehearsal, the little mistakes are all in good entertainment. With that, I shall go and inform the troop members of the changes. Pray make your way to Proto-Alexandria and await further instructions.
What if there's an actual duel in Wuk Lamat fucking bodies warrior fight? That'd be fucked up. I don't think there's a universe that occurs. Well, she's a lion. You think that she would win dishonestly then, or what? That's the castle where the terminal is. When we shut it down, Yesterland and the Endless in it will also fade away. So let's give them a show to remember. And we'll remember them too. Them and what it is they seek to preserve through this celebration. Perhaps we could buy matching accessories. Welcome to the Bergmar Ring. Enjoy your stay. I can't wait for the ride. Well. Do you remember the carousel at FanFest? That was a teaser for this then? Yeah, it just didn't make any fucking sense. Because we didn't have any context, so it just looked like a weird, out-of-place carousel. Emmett would laugh, I bet he would. acro cat. Are you kidding me? These are parrot cats? Aristocatics? Oh my god. Or acrocatics? Acrocatics. We're going to credits tonight? No, probably not. I still have a good bit left. I still have two areas left, so probably not. Which is good, because then I'll be able to finish it on Tuesday, which a lot of people will be around for, and that'll be really good timing. Then I'll just have to figure out what to do for my Wednesday stream, and then it'll be a lot of World of Warcraft, because then a new expansion will be out. But I'll still be doing Final Fantasy stuff. FF's not gonna go away. It's just for probably that first week of World of Warcraft, it's pretty much mostly gonna be just that. Raid on Wednesday? Maybe. If we don't start it on Tuesday, then yeah, probably Wednesday. I was kind of thinking that I'd probably be able to start it on Tuesday. The music's really nice. Tower of Moo. There's a brownie right there. Moment of death is the only rest from this eternal march. What the fuck? Fuck that. The quiz mob? Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that thing was. What those? It's the friggin' friendly monster. Proto Alexandria. It's really something, huh? Right, let's give it our best and have some fun. On the wait around. Any chance an FF9 playthrough happens someday? Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a chance. Oh, yeah.
Well, this seems to be the right place. What's on the program, I wonder?
The program? Okay, dude.
And where are the others, for that matter?
These little, like, wordplay things, dude, they're not subtle.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tonight's performance is a story that takes place long, long ago. A great conflict rages over precious electrope, and the kingdom of Alexandria has been embroiled in the chaos. When the royal capital comes under siege, the kingdom's valiant knights lay their lives on the line for their beloved Princess Sphene. I bid you keep your handkerchiefs at hand. Now, without further ado,
Oh, shit. Wuk Lamat, I saw your tail.
yeah, it's a royal knight!
Oh, shit.
I beg your pardon? What a twist!
Surprise!
Unbelievable.
This guy's definitely related to Emmett Selk, chat. It's my new headcanon.
Oh! Arg! I am killed!
Fucking Wuk Lamat. Unfucking believable.
You must flee! All of you!
Sphene's actress is a little Lalafell.
Princess Sphene!
Are you unharmed?
Oh, I am, thanks to you, my dearest Otis.
My dearest?
Yeah.
And so, in no small part due to the valor of the royal knights, the kingdom succeeds in repelling the invaders. But their jubilation proves short-lived. For in mad defiance, the enemy unleashes a forbidden weapon which brings about a terrible calamity. Full many lose their lives. The good Queen Sphene, shining vision of hope, among them. Go to her! You're supposed to go to her!
The lighting just changed right there.
What's happening?
That was weird.
Is it over already?
And then, though the people grieved their queen's tragic passing, guided by her legacy of compassion. Oh boy. They, worked hand in hand to overcome an age of hardship, and in time, they built a peaceful and prosperous Alexandria. A new Alexandria.
All right. Good improv. Okay. Got the crowd there. It's good. Otis is having a little
Pray
PTSD
forgive
right
me.
there.
The memories. They had me in a vice grip.
All's well that ends well. I wouldn't dwell on it.
If I may ask, during your improvisation, you spoke of a new Alexandria. And so I'm given to wonder, do you hail from a time after mine own?
We do. And we're living people, not endless.
My word! That I should meet the living in this place. There is another question I dread to speak aloud. A question I couldn't bring myself to pose to newcomers out of fear of the truth. Alexandria, does it still exist?
It does. It isn't quite the place you knew, but it endures. The descendants of your people walk its streets and live each day to the fullest as proud Alexandrians.
They live. We live. I had failed to protect my queen, but to hear that, it brings me a measure of peace.
You were there too, Otis. That is, an incarnation of you.
Of me? That's absurd. But wait, something comes back to me. When they were researching a means to resurrect Her Majesty, memory preservation or some such, I volunteered to be a test subject. No. It is a fog I cannot pierce. But pray, tell me, this incarnation of myself, what was he like?
Just like you. He was a brave soul, protected his queen to the last.
That's not all. He was a father in all but name to the new king, Gululja. Whatever you may have failed to do, you're the noblest of souls, Otis. And your deeds, your sacrifice, gave us hope that we sorely needed.
Tis a miracle. Verily, there can be no other way to describe it.
It is. It really is. We bear the legacy of your other self, and we'd be glad to bear yours as well.
My, what comfort you offer! With such dependable souls to take up my shield, I may rest easy indeed. I beg you, watch over our new king. The war changed my queen. To her final moment, grief darkened her gentle countenance. I've not the honor of knowing Gululja, but I pray that for all his days, he shall have cause to smile.
We'll see to it he does, Otis. I swear.
No explanations are required. I have intuited your response, your purpose. There are paths only the living may walk. Mine was a tumultuous life, replete with joy and sorrow both. But it ends on a bright note, thanks to you. If I have one regret, however, it is that I could not meet the new king. Send him my regards, won't you?
Geo-terminal.
Damn, look at the lighting down here. Look at this shit.
The fact that it's mostly children here in Yesterland explains all the amusements here. But as happy as they seem, it's hard to think about their lives before this. For if the form of an endless reflects their happiest self, it means they died before they grew up, or grew up to find no greater happiness.
Sure does, Aaronville. Sure does.
I had a wonderful time, and I believe everyone here did too. Suffice it to say, I didn't expect you to appear on stage. You did a fine job, both of you.
That was a marvelous play. It is a shame that that will be the last performance, but it will forever be etched in my memories.
Well, we're all here. Are you having doubts? No. I'll do what I came to do. It's just, the fonder you are of someone, the harder it is to say farewell. If you're ready, Pyro, and I am too. Alright, let me just say a word about those we met here.
That night, he was the one who looked after Galulja. And now you follow in his footsteps.
And those of others as well. We've come to know how much Svin's people loved her, how much they yearned for peace. All of this we'll carry with us.
I see.
So I just had a thought, I guess I didn't really think of before. In terms of preservation and coding and doing this stuff, I feel like the Asians had to have been involved, right? Maybe it was some Asian fuck that was part of preservation that coded this shit. Some sicko. Some absolute sicko. I don't know if that works. Tombstones? Tombstones? Okay, here we go. 2 zones to go. Upon our return, we must regale Galulja with the heroic tale of Sir Otis Valona. And that makes half. Otis, the mechanical soldier, and Otis, the endless. Through you, their paths reconverged at the last. It's like waking up from a dream to bitter reality. But I'll never forget my time with the Endless, or the pain I feel now. We're more than memories stored in machines. So long as someone remembers us and carries on our legacy, we'll never truly fade away. Ascians were totally involved in the storm surge. I feel like that is probably the case.